Need a little more energy because you work so hard. Doing this all on diagonals, that way I use fewer needles. Still sending the right signal. This will help your digestion. Where's that?
I didn't feel it.
There you go.
How we felt.
Felt it now?
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this whole tattoo. It just moves the circulation in your back. Good.
I don't know how many years ago it was that the National Institutes of Health started the alternative medicine, they were calling it, and too many practitioners like us were saying, wait a minute, we're not alternative, we are complementary.
Natural.
Natural,
I don't care.
complementary.
I think of it as being natural.
Yeah, people are still reluctant, don't you think?
I think, yeah, but I think the fault also lies within the medical profession because of the fact that there is a resistance. And the problem is, you know, we just have, you know, unfortunately it's going to take time for people to become educated, but some people who are, you know, have been practicing medicine for 30 years, they're not going to change their ways. They're just, you know, they have to retire. We just have to wait for a new generation of physicians who will come in and look at things differently.
What I'm saying is, if you wait to do something about your health until you're already sick, you're just managing your disease. You're not getting out of it. And there's a whole other way to do it, which is to focus on getting well and do that and make that your goal. And then, like, everything that happens to you along the way is your pleasure, your enjoyment. And you get to live in a better body and live long enough to manifest and to articulate what it is that you really care about.
Right? Which is amazing to me to see people 20 or 30 years younger than me on the street corner smoking cigarettes. I just don't get it.
I think a significant part of that is simply the self-destructive drive of adolescence. I know from personal experience, I grew up with this strong and unreasoning desire to hate the world and really do my best to destroy them as a means of personal liberation. And when that mentality is big in the psyche, things like cigarettes and binge drinking are very attractive.
Exactly. Nicotine is addictive.
Right.
And the brain actually prefers nicotine over oxygen, so it's going to hurt itself. And it's one of the most powerful affinities. The brain, it likes neurotransmitters, and one of the things that's really great about just putting needles in your body through acupuncture is you don't stress out the system because of the way that they work, and you release endorphins, and your brain gets turned on. And, you know, it's like way better to get acupuncture.
Ah, the pleasure principle. The pleasure principle at work.
Traditionally, we go after the pain and we stop that. But we're just basically very often floating a cover on it. And what we try to do in holistic medicine is forget it, we want to break the cycle. I'm not just going to mask it, I want to stop it. And I may have to dive in to do it, but I'm going to do it so I can change my food because I do that every day and that's medicine. I'm going to change how I focus my energy. And maybe I'm going to get to start to remember what it feels like to be well. And every time I get a reminder, it's going to motivate me. So that's how we do it.
We're talking about a holistic model. We're talking about an integration of body, mind, and spirit. And that unless you're willing to open yourself up to that concept, then transformation probably is not going to occur.
Before I started to see Michelle for acupuncture, since I was 3, I had asthma. I was asthmatic. I still do have asthma, and I had an inhaler. I had multiple inhalers my whole life. It just was what I lived with. It was what I had. It was my disease. And somebody had referred me to Michelle and referred me to her practice. And I remember the first day I came to see you and I had my consultation, we talked and we had a session, and everything came out. I was discussing my problems and my asthma and why I was there, and when I left I just started crying because it finally was like, oh my God, I'm really trying to heal myself. Like, I'm allowing myself to finally get better and to finally heal and not be a slave to this condition.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks for giving me your time and for being here, for sharing the journey with us. So we're at the Raw Garage here. It's called Rossum, and this is my friend Brett. And Brett made this amazing hibiscus honey tea that I'm drinking, and a number of other things here.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you how it is that you got into making this kind of food and why.
Well, I started off very early in life, I'd say in high school. Had a lot of problems health-wise, especially with my skin. A lot of acne, things like that. And I started doing a lot of research, read books, experimented with different dietary approaches, trying to find something that would help, clear up this condition. And I started experimenting with juicing and raw foods, and I found after a very short period of time that it was making a dramatic impact. This is what I'm doing now, making raw food products for people who may have similar issues to deal with, health-wise.
So it made you feel better?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've been doing it ever since?
Yeah, I've probably been doing this for, I'd say, a good 12, 13 years. And I don't think I would do anything different.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love your stuff.
Good, I'm glad you did.
So this is my buddy Arpad, and he practices Shaolin Qigong and 7th Dan Tai Chi. And this is his style of being crazy. It's a little different than mine, but I wanted you to see this because some of what I do comes from some of what he does.
A powerful part of healing comes from breath. And when we focus on our breath, it helps us to relax, it helps us to go within. And breath and movement is key, because breath alone can sometimes get a little boring and the mind can tend to wander. But when focused on breath and movement and they flow in unison, then the body slips into a certain type of biorhythm where the practitioner becomes very aware of themselves, of what they're feeling inside, and the ability to heal the body and relaxation is almost effortless.
So if you want to know a couple of secrets, this is an early morning yoga practice that I do, and if you want to get really high simply and naturally, this is what you do. This is what I do.
I can see a lot of life in you. I can see a lot of bright in you.
For every hour that I spend focusing, going straight ahead, I give myself a nice little twist to so that I get the full range of motion that my body is designed to have. And that gives me more options in every situation and more chances for success. And that's what it's all about. So when I feel stressed and I need to do something to get rid of the stress, this is what I do. And if my sciatic nerve bothers me, I work on this. And it didn't come all of a sudden, but it came just a little bit at a time. You know, just a little bit at a time, all the time. That intensity that my friend talked about, that craziness that we have sometimes, that self-destruction, this is what I do with it. And after years of doing this, I can always rely on it. It's always there.